How old are you? And how long have you been living with diabetes? Do you feel like you're doing everything right, yet your blood sugar still acts up like the very first day you were diagnosed? Don't worry, you're not alone. Millions of people across the US are facing the same struggle. The good news is that there's a simple, natural, and surprisingly effective solution that most people overlook: adjusting your diet with foods that have natural blood sugar lowering powers. In today's video, I'll walk you through 10 expert-recommended foods that don't just lower blood sugar quickly, they also help restore your pancreas, improve insulin sensitivity, and reduce long-term complications. Ready to take charge of your health right from your kitchen? Let's dive in. 1. Berries. Superfruits that lower blood sugar with polyphenols. If you're wondering where to start, berries are the #1 choice: easy to eat, delicious, and incredibly effective in supporting blood sugar control. Berries like blueberries, raspberries, and strawberries are packed with polyphenols, plant compounds shown to improve insulin sensitivity and reduce post-meal blood sugar spikes. A study published in the British Journal of Nutrition, 2010, found that people at risk of diabetes who consumed 150 grams of blueberries daily for 6 weeks significantly improved their insulin function compared to a control group. Berries are also rich in soluble fiber, which slows glucose absorption and helps prevent rapid blood sugar spikes. Here are their glycemic index (GI) scores. Strawberries, GI 41. Blueberries, GI 53. Raspberries, GI 32. GI under 55 is considered good for diabetics. And there's more. Besides supporting blood sugar, berries are rich in antioxidants that protect blood vessels, a major concern for diabetics. Snack on them. Mix into unsweetened yogurt, or toss into your morning smoothie. It's a simple but powerful way to control your sugar levels, delicious and healing from the inside out. 2. Fatty fish, a double weapon for heart and blood sugar health. Think only veggies and fruits lower blood sugar? Think again. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines are game changers. They're not only high in quality protein, but also rich in omega-3 fatty acids, especially EPA and DHA, known for their powerful anti-inflammatory effects, blood vessel protection, and ability to enhance insulin sensitivity. For people with diabetes, this is critical because chronic inflammation and fat metabolism issues are root causes of complications like heart disease. According to the Journal of Clinical Lipidology, 2019, people with type 2 diabetes who ate fatty fish twice a week lowered their risk of heart disease by up to 36%, and improved triglyceride levels and blood pressure, both closely tied to blood sugar control. Salmon, for instance, has an extremely low insulin index, around 30, and doesn't spike blood sugar after meals, the opposite of carb-heavy dishes. Swap red meat or fried food for grilled salmon with olive oil and leafy greens. Or gently simmer it with ginger and turmeric, delicious and healing. And if you're not used to eating fish, don't worry. Many patients report that after just a few weeks of adding fatty fish to their meals, their blood sugar stabilized, and even their sleep and mood improved. Sometimes, one small change at mealtime can open the door to long-term recovery. 3. Olive oil, liquid gold, for diabetics. You've probably heard of vegetable oil, sunflower oil, even coconut oil, but if you're living with diabetes, extra virgin olive oil should be your go-to choice. Unlike industrial oils that promote inflammation, olive oil is high in oleic acid, a monounsaturated fat that reduces insulin resistance, improves lipid profiles, and fights silent inflammation, a major hidden cause of rising blood sugar over time. In the landmark PREDIMED trial published in the New England Journal of Medicine, 2013, people following a Mediterranean diet rich in olive oil reduced their risk of type 2 diabetes by 40% compared to the control group. And the best part? They didn't follow a restrictive diet, they just swapped bad fats for healthy ones. I once met a patient named Linda, 64 years old. Her blood sugar hovered between 160 to 180 milligrams per deciliter despite eating very little rice. After switching animal fats for olive oil in her stir-fries, soups, and salads, along with more veggies and fish, her blood sugar dropped to 120 to 130 milligrams per deciliter within 6 weeks. She calls olive oil her prescription-free medicine. Start simple. Drizzle olive oil over salads, steamed vegetables, or low-heat stir-fries. The flavor might seem unfamiliar at first, but in no time, you'll love how light and satisfying it feels, and how empowered you are to take control of your health. Now, let's move on to another best friend of your pancreas. 4. Dark leafy greens. Nature's medicine for insulin sensitivity. You've probably heard that veggies are good for you. But for diabetics, dark leafy greens like spinach, broccoli, and kale are potent medicine for restoring insulin sensitivity and supporting your pancreas. These greens are rich in alpha-lipoic acid, ALA, a strong antioxidant that boosts insulin sensitivity and protects beta cells, the very cells that produce insulin in your pancreas. They're also high in magnesium and folate, nutrients often deficient in diabetics and essential for glucose metabolism. World-renowned physician Dr. Neil Barnard, an expert in nutrition and endocrinology, once said, "Dark leafy greens like spinach, kale, and broccoli don't just lower blood sugar, they can restore insulin sensitivity when eaten daily." A study published in Diabetes Care, 2004, found that people who ate at least 1 cup of leafy greens a day reduced their risk of developing type 2 diabetes by 14%. For those already diagnosed, A1C and fasting blood sugar improved significantly after just 12 weeks of a veggie-rich diet. If you're not used to raw veggies, try stir-frying them lightly with olive oil, steaming them, or adding them to soup. The key is consistency. 1 serving per meal can have a massive long-term impact. And believe me, your pancreas will thank you after every meal like that. 5. Nuts and seeds. Smart snacks to keep blood sugar stable all day. Do you often feel hungry between meals? Crave something crunchy that won't spike your blood sugar? Good news, nuts and seeds like almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, and flax seeds are the perfect solution. Unlike cookies or crackers, nuts are low in digestible carbs but high in healthy fats, magnesium, and fiber, all of which support healthy blood sugar levels. A study published in Archives of Internal Medicine, 2010, showed that people who ate 30 grams of nuts daily for 3 months lowered their HbA1c by an average of 0.4% and significantly reduced fasting insulin levels. Magnesium, abundant in pumpkin and sunflower seeds, plays a crucial role in glucose metabolism. Magnesium deficiency is closely tied to insulin resistance. That's why many endocrinologists recommend magnesium-rich foods over supplements. Here's more good news. The glycemic index, GI, of nuts is nearly 0. Almonds, GI equals 0. Walnuts, GI equals 15. Chia seeds, GI approximately equals 1. Flax seeds, GI approximately equals 10. Plus, nuts help you stay full longer, preventing random snacking, which often causes hidden blood sugar spikes. Keep a small pack of nuts with you when going out, or sprinkle them over salads, yogurt, or morning smoothies. These aren't just smart snacks, they're your daily allies in blood sugar control from morning to night. 6. Legumes. A natural shield that slows sugar absorption and lowers post-meal glucose spikes. As a diabetes specialist, I often tell my patients, not all carbs are bad. It's about the type you eat and how your body responds to it. Among the healthiest sources of carbohydrates, legumes like lentils, black beans, chickpeas, and mung beans are my top recommendations. Legumes are complex carbs rich in soluble fiber, and it's this fiber that acts like a natural shield, slowing down digestion and glucose absorption. This helps prevent those dangerous blood sugar spikes after meals. A study published in the Archives of Internal Medicine, 2012, showed that people with type 2 diabetes who ate 1 cup, about 200 grams, of legumes daily for 3 months reduced their HbA1c by an average of 0.5%. Blood pressure and cholesterol levels also improved, numbers comparable to the effects of some diabetes medications. Even better, legumes have very low glycemic index, GI, values. Lentils, GI 32. Black beans, GI 30. Chickpeas, GI 28. For diabetics, those numbers are ideal to prevent post-meal glucose tsunamis. I often recommend swapping white rice with a portion of stewed legumes and greens. or tossing them into a salad with olive oil and lemon. It doesn't have to be fancy. What matters is choosing the right foods. Science is clear. Regularly eating legumes is a natural, safe, and highly effective long-term strategy for diabetes control. And I always feel confident when my patients apply this principle daily. 7. Whole grains, smart carbs, for long-term blood sugar stability. After getting familiar with legumes, a healthy form of complex carbs, you may be wondering, what about grains? Can diabetics eat rice, bread, or noodles? The answer lies in which grain you choose and how it affects your blood sugar. Not all grains are harmful. In fact, whole grains, like oats, brown rice, barley, and quinoa, are what we call smart carbs. They retain their fiber, B vitamins, magnesium, and antioxidants that your body truly needs. A large study from Harvard School of Public Health, 2018, involving over 200,000 people, found that consuming 2 servings of whole grains per day reduced the risk of type 2 diabetes by 21% compared to refined grain eaters. Notably, oats contain beta-glucan, a fiber proven to slow glucose absorption and improve insulin sensitivity. Here's the GI of some common whole grains. Steel-cut oats, GI 55, brown rice, GI 50, quinoa, GI 53, barley, GI 28. Compare that to white bread or white rice, GI 70 to 85. And you'll see why whole grains are superior. They release glucose gradually, preventing dangerous post-meal spikes. You can swap white rice for brown rice. Switch to oats with unsweetened plant-based milk for breakfast. Or mix quinoa into your salads. Once you understand which carbs are your allies, you'll stop fearing them and start using them to support your healing. 8. Vegetables rich in alpha-lipoic acid, a natural enemy of hidden insulin resistance. Did you know over 96 million adults in the US are in a prediabetic state, and most of them don't even know it? In Europe, 1 in 10 adults has diabetes, and nearly 60% fail to maintain stable blood sugar within the first 3 years after diagnosis. One of the root causes? Hidden insulin resistance, where your body no longer responds well to insulin, even if you eat very little. Surprisingly, there's a natural compound that can reverse this trend: alpha-lipoic acid, ALA, found abundantly in broccoli, spinach, kale, and red beets. A study published in Diabetes Care, 2006, revealed that daily ALA supplementation improved insulin sensitivity by up to 27% and significantly reduced diabetic nerve pain within 5 weeks. In whole vegetables, ALA combines with antioxidants and magnesium to form a powerful trio that reduces inflammation, restores pancreatic function, and improves glucose metabolism. This is why experts in Germany, where ALA has been used to treat diabetic neuropathy since the 1990s, recommend including dark leafy greens in every meal as a non-negotiable part of diabetes management. You can steam broccoli, sauté spinach with olive oil, or juice veggies with ginger. The key is daily repetition. By doing this, you gradually turn the tide against insulin resistance. And this isn't just theory, it's backed by real-world data from millions of patients worldwide. 9. Cinnamon, a tiny spice with a big impact on blood sugar. Many people think of cinnamon as a flavor for desserts or coffee. But few realize it's actually a secret weapon for naturally balancing blood sugar, especially Ceylon cinnamon. And when you compare the benefits versus the risks, it's a strategy worth considering. A study published in Diabetes Care, 2003, found that just 1 to 6 grams of cinnamon per day, about 1/2 to 1 teaspoon, helped people with type 2 diabetes reduce fasting blood sugar by 18 to 29%, triglycerides by 23–30%, total cholesterol by 12 to 26%. Those are no small numbers, especially when compared to the effects of mild diabetes medications. And the risks? With moderate use, Ceylon cinnamon is virtually side effect free, unlike common cassia cinnamon, which contains coumarin, a compound that can harm the liver if used in high doses or long term. So choosing the right type of cinnamon is crucial. Another major benefit: cinnamon mimics the action of insulin, helping glucose enter cells more efficiently. That's why it's especially effective when consumed with starchy meals. You can sprinkle Ceylon cinnamon on unsweetened yogurt, morning smoothies, coffee, or oatmeal. This small but mighty change can deliver the kind of benefit that's usually only seen with prescriptions, without worrying about dosage escalation. Science has already proven its value, now it's your turn to take advantage of it. 10. Refined grains. The hidden villain behind blood sugar spikes. As a diabetes professional, I have to give it to you straight. Refined grains, including white rice, white bread, noodles, pasta, and even rice vermicelli, are silent saboteurs that send your blood sugar soaring. Often without you realizing it. Many patients ask me, why is my blood sugar still high? I barely eat sugar. The answer lies in these supposedly harmless carbs that actually have very high glycemic indexes, causing blood sugar to rise dramatically just 30 to 60 minutes after eating. For example, white rice, GI equals 73. White bread, GI equals 75 to 85. Boiled white pasta, GI equals 68. For comparison, table sugar has a GI of about 65. So yes, a bowl of white noodles can spike your blood sugar more than a spoonful of sugar. Research from Harvard shows that those who eat refined grains regularly have a 55% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to those who eat whole grains. Refined carbs also worsen insulin resistance, increase hunger, and promote overeating, creating a dangerous cycle. What's worse is that many patients are told to just eat less rice, without being taught to replace it with low GI alternatives. The result? Blood sugar keeps dancing out of control, and they don't understand why. If you're serious about taking control of your diabetes, cutting out refined grains should be a top priority. This isn't gentle advice, it's a clinical level warning based on decades of patient experience. Now that you know these 10 golden foods, what's next? The next step is figuring out how to bring these foods into your daily life, simply and sustainably. You don't need to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Just start with small but consistent actions. Eat fatty fish like salmon or mackerel at least twice a week to support heart and blood sugar health. Add berries to breakfast, in smoothies or with unsweetened yogurt, instead of pastries. Make extra virgin olive oil your go-to cooking oil for salads or light sautéing. Include leafy greens, nuts, legumes, and whole grains in your daily meals. Swap white rice for brown rice. And add greens to every plate. And if you struggle to get enough through food alone, supplementing with proven nutrients like Ala or Ceylon cinnamon capsules can be a safe, research-backed option. Managing diabetes is a lifelong journey, but you are not alone. If you found this video helpful, leave a comment with your experience or question. I read everyone and respond personally. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss upcoming videos on natural, science-based strategies to control blood sugar. Together, we can take charge of this condition, one meal, one habit, one choice at a time.